Okay, welcome. Now I will continue this. If I remember, where was I? There is one side mission. We can start.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe that. Yes.
Excuse me? Hey, did you talk to the blacksmith?
Nice.
I did. I didn't realize he could make weapons out of circle parts. That he can? Knowing that, could I ask you to help me out with a little something? You know those golems, the big rock guys? The ones that like to spring out of the ground without warning? They are a pain in the neck. Yeah, that's it. That should make for some great weapon is that weapon or weapon material from what I'm told. There are still a ton of those roaming around causing trouble and it looks like we'll need them to forge some weapons too. Got to get 3 stone fragments of those guys and bring them back here to me.
Got it.
Sure. You said we can fight them on golems.
Yes.
Right, the things that look like rocks buried in the ground. If you could fight some and collect that stone fragment for me, that would be great. Sorry to add more to your plate, but you'd really be helping me out. Thanks. Let's do that. Oh, there's more.
I wonder if something happened.
I'm sorry you have to listen to my English. Whoa, you're the Enon that helped liberate Galaclia, aren't you?
What?
So what if I am? This is crazy. I always wanted to talk to you. Hey, I know this is really sudden, but how do you think I look? Well, how should I put it? It's a very simple look.
Right.
Pretty plain, I guess I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Right, there's nothing stylish about what I'm wearing, not even a little. There's only so much you can do with a few pieces of cloth though. I think now that Galaclia is free, I should be free from these boring old rags too, don't you agree?
Sure.
Sure, now's a good time as any. That's why I wanted to talk to you. I want your opinion on what I can do to that to stand out and look more handsome. I like your attitude. I know a guy who could stand to take a page out of your book.
What?
Sorry to disappoint.
I'm not so sure.
Anyway, what sort of outfits do you think so English? What sort of outfit do you think would look good on me? Any general ideas you might have for me to try? Let me think. Something aggressive.
Right.
You'll just blend in with the crowds if you look like everyone else. Go for something unique, something in your face that makes you stand out. You're right. It'd be boring if I just looked like any other random person out around. Okay, I'll look for something loud and bold. I'd love to get your feedback once I come up with an outfit.
Sure.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. Sion the fashion critic. No.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I know what I want. Now to just go out and fight it. is your shop? The hunt for new arms, yes. Let's go to the hunting quest.
Okay, off we go.
Out of our way!
You're mine!
Searing flame! Hear me! Flame of
Damn it!
fury! Burning strike! Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
There you go.
Barely a blip on our radar.
Right, here goes!
Where are you going?
Severing wind!
Hear me! Flame of
You're
fury!
mine!
Burning
Ha! Come and face me!
Insects should stay on the ground.
Swallow blade!
Tasty.
We've got flyers!
I've got this! Let him march!
All yours!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Okay, where are the gold? Aha.
I won't forgive you! Gemini Aqua!
Try harder! Severing wind! Ha! It's over!
Let them march!
Mirage!
Searing flame!
Wind!
Reload!
Together, that wasn't even a problem. Hey, didn't we find a recipe that...
Yeah, we can use this for it.
I need to fight golems.
No choice! Here I come! I'll take you all off! Here I come! Swallow blade! Here I come! Swallow blade! Here I come! Swallow blade! You're mine! Strike! Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Not even a problem. By the way. Acquire stone fragments. Oh, that's fast 11 point.
No choice!
Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Severing wind! You're mine!
One
You're
more!
finished!
Mega
Mirage!
By the power of water!
Ow!
Here's a healing art!
Burn in hell!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
The stone fragment.
We should think about eating soon.
Really? Not all that hungry myself.
Don't make me say it again.
Yeah, good idea.
Out of our way! Gemini Aqua!
Here I come! It's over! You're mine! You're finished! We did it!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart for your heart. Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Now to find the golems. Or more golems. Ow.
Out of our way!
Severing wing! Mirage!
Mega Ray!
You're finished!
Jedi
Strike!
Aqua!
Swallow blade! We're in good form!
Let's dispose of the trash. Take it! I'm
Win!
only getting started!
Here I
By the
come!
power of
Swallow blade! Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Not even a problem. We've got some main secrets locked up further in. We'll keep a close eye on them to make sure not a single one breaks loose. Okay, so I can't get there, not just yet. Hello?
Get lost!
You're mine!
Burning strike!
Come one, come all! Here I come! You're finished! That buzzing is driving me mad! Swallow blade!
Gemini Aqua!
Take this! It's over!
Well then, let's keep moving.
Let's. Okay, is there anything? Ooh! Spotted cat ears.
I'm surprised there are owls here too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
Orange shell. Nice. Can I can't. Well, I think it's too far down, so understandable. There isn't fall damage. Perfect. Okay, where is the golems?
I hate camping out.
And you are? If you don't want to trek all the way back to town, I suggest you stock up here. I've got plenty here to meet all your needs. Ah, it's here. Ah. Why not? Bye. That's really handy.
I always love the sound of hammers banging away.
Let's make a small list. Because this is that kind of game that I don't want to take any chances.
Everywhere we go, it's nothing but rocks and sand for days. I don't think I've seen any grass or flowers this entire time.
Yeah, it's hard to come by anything to eat around here.
Well, the sooner we get out of this realm, the better.
I'm sorry, this is just... taking me off in the wrong way. I don't buy anything or anything. Acquire data. Yes. Cook, yes.
This should definitely keep you guys full.
Thank you.
Well, off we go.
Yes, it has respawned.
Gotta break through.
There! One more!
Win!
Mega Ray!
You're mine! You're finished!
Power of water!
You're
Do
on!
it! Gemini Aqua!
Try harder!
Nicely done.
Strange score. Excuse me.
An opponent like this should be easy.
One's mine.
Not today!
Burning strike! I never miss. Barely a blip on our radar.
Stone fragment. Nice.
Get lost!
Take that!
I'm only getting started. These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. Barely a blip on our radar.
Question, is there any golems? Any golems? Bugs.
Out of our way!
Here I come!
Burning strike!
Here I come!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Swirl the blade! Slap!
Hear me!
You're mine!
Burning strike! Barely a blip on our radar.
There isn't anything here. Can I do they respawn if I leave the area? I think so. Yes. They will respawn.
Out of our way!
Try harder! Shivering wind! You're mine! It's over! Mirage! No escape! Win!
Did I get it?
Looks like it could be worth
Yes.
something.
Aha. Let's kill these two too. Just in case.
Right, here goes! Try harder! Severing wing! It's over!
Let the marksman handle this.
Burn! We're in good form!
And a strange call. Nice.
I won't forgive you.
You're mine! It's over!
Searing flame.
Swallow blade! We can't lay a finger on you!
I prefer it that way.
Rush! We did
What
it!
about you?
Just watch and see! Mirage!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Boom, 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 boom. Where are you? Hello. Do I have enough?
Yes!
You can find the starfire because I'm after by fighting some columns. Circles that look like rocks buried in the ground. Sorry to add more to the papa to help me, thanks. Didn't I? No, I have only two. Okay. Check out the Gates of Fire. Ugh.
This is...
I didn't realize there were so many injured. Ah. Shion.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks Shion. You can stop now. We'll take care of the rest from here. Something happened while I was out. After she tried patching you up, Shion here was kind enough to help us treat other injured folk. I tried telling her she's done more than enough.
What?
I just figured the sooner you all were back on your feet, the sooner we could move on to finding the next lord. It wasn't out of the goodness of my heart. Is that right? Well, whatever reason, we appreciate the help. Thanks. Shion's map action. Shion can use her healing arts to treat injured people that you find during your travels. Doing so may earn you a reward in return. To heal an injured person, approach them and press to spend CP and cast the astral art.
Shion. Why do you keep people at arm's length? You're always trying to wave it off whenever someone's nice to you. Like with Tilsa just now. Why couldn't you just accept her gratitude?
Our interests just happen to overlap. I don't want people thinking I'm doing things to be nice when in reality they benefit both of us. All I care about is that we hurry up and defeat the Lords.
See, that's what I mean. You want to defeat the Lords. I may have been skeptical at first, but now I really believe you meant it. Yet despite that, you still took the time to help out those injured Dahnans, didn't you?
I did it because it was necessary and I got roped into helping out.
Is that the same reason you helped that kid in Balsev's castle? Because it sure didn't look that way to me. You've helped me too. Not just with my injuries, but by being there for me as well. Even though I can't feel pain, the injuries I get from using the blazing sword could probably kill me. That thought alone should be terrifying. But I know you'll always be there by my side, ready to heal me. It's because of you that I can wield the blazing sword.
Don't just close in on me like that! If you get any closer, you're going to set off my thorns, you know.
I was just trying to compliment you.
You were? What now?
Shionne, your thorns! It's okay. I'll stop talking about it.
You
What is
will?
this music?
In any case, I'm just glad that you're the one who ended up with the Master Core. Thank you, Shionne, for everything. Now let's go check out those gates of fire.
Really? I swear. You're bad for the heart.
Was this way?
Okay, off we go.
Hello.
Out of our way!
You're mine! It's over!
Flame! Reload! There!
You're mine!
That's it!
It's over!
Mega ray! Searing
You're
flame!
mine!
Reload!
There you go.
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
And collect these. Excuse me. What the heck? Excuse me.
Lost!
Here I come! You're finished!
Mega ray! By the power
Take
of
this!
water!
Swallow blade!
I don't see any soldiers or their pet Zeugles. Just strays roaming around.
They must have split once Balsev kicked the bucket and they had nobody left to obey. Looks like it could be worth something.
Okay, where we need to go? Yes, this is the right way. Maybe.
Gotta break through!
What the heck? What is in my throat?
Swallow! You're mine! Swallow blade! Here I come! You're finished!
Nicely done, Shionne.
You're slacking. Step it up!
Stop.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right.
I think this is the right way. Because this is only question mark.
Behind you, Shionne.
Looks like this place opens out into the ocean.
The water's so much cleaner than what's on the surface. I even see fish swimming around.
Yeah. And boy, do they look delicious.
What?
Never mind.
So this is fishing spot. Good to know. Cave of Solitude. No. Oscuro is the one place to go. Sentinels of Levine. Maybe. Gion Mine Tunnels. No. That's not it. No. What the heck? Iglia? Yagan Ruins? Storage block? Bulbok free. Lens of Flames. Clear base. Dragon Ruins. No, that wasn't it. There was the giant Juggle Hunt. There was elevator. There was elevator. Elevaattori. At least I got the XP. Where was I? Gates of Fire, yes, this way. Excuse me. What the heck?
Right, here goes! Come one, come all! Here I come! Win! You're mine! You're finished! Great! Next!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
There you go.
This could be useful.
Hard bow.
That monster that appeared from the spirit vessel, and the power inside the blazing sword, they're both born of the same thing. It's all astral energy harvested from the souls of dying Danans.
I suppose so.
And it was the Danans who gave their lives for today. Their power, after all this time, is what finally destroyed Balsif and his wall. By the way, what happened to all the energy that we released?
It's dispersing and spreading across Dana as we speak, finding its way back to where it belongs.
And all the energy the Renans have harvested? Where does that go? Once Sovereign's decided, I mean. I'd wager they don't give it back, right? What? Can't tell the Danan that? Or about why you want to kill all the lords?
Oh, like you don't have anything to hide? The Blazing Sword. It's powered by the burning astral energy of the Master Core I possess. So why don't you explain how it manifested into the shape of that beast, hmm? Just how did you manage that?
How am I supposed to know? My memory's a complete blank, remember? Fine, be that way. It's not like we ever trusted each other any... She's still not awake?
Not yet. Her injuries aren't serious, but she's severely weakened. Must have been quite a fight.
There's nothing we can give her?
If only. What with the beatings we've taken lately, we're barely getting by on the little provisions we have as it is.
That bad, huh? If there are no supplies here, then... That's it. We need Doc.
Doc? The same Doc that took care of you?
Yeah, he's back in Mosgul. If anyone can help us, it's him.
In that case, would you mind asking for us? I'd go myself, but I'm tied up here for now.
Not a problem. Leave it to me. I wonder what that girl's deal is. Never imagined anyone would ever come from outside the walls of Calaglia.
It's really not that big of a deal. There are more realms out there than just Calaglia, you know.
Maybe it sounds normal to you, but I've been behind those walls for as long as I can remember. Of course I knew there was more out there, but it sure didn't feel like it when unscalable walls are trapping you in.
I hate to burst your bubble, but the rest of Dana isn't much better. The world's full of lords who are just as bad as Balsif.
I know. That girl must have had her reasons for coming over to our territory. Even so, it's nice to see there really is life beyond the walls of Calaglia. It might not mean much to you, but that's reason enough for me to be happy.
Let's go see the duck.
Okay, off we go.
Question. I went to the wrong. Decided. Gladly there is thing called fast travel.
It's so quiet. From now on, no one is going to be whipped or killed here ever again. Hey there, Doc.
Who are you?
It's me, Iron Mask. Though these days I go by Alphen. I finally remembered my name.
Alphen? I heard that was the guy who brought down Balseph. Wait. You're telling me you're the liberator of Calaglia? Our own Iron Mask? Of all the people.
I told you, I'm Alphen now. And I didn't overthrow Balseph alone.
Even so, that's no small feat you've accomplished. And you managed to get your face back, too. That woman with you, the Renin?
You know about her?
Only what I've heard from rumors. I wasn't sure I believed it, but now I suppose I must.
Doc, she...
Thank you.
You sure you should be saying that to a Renin?
I'm not saying it to any old Renin. I'm saying it to you, young lady.
I only helped because it was in my interests as well.
Of course, I would imagine as much. But that doesn't change the end result. The two of you defeated Balseph, and now all of us are free. That is a fact.
Thanks, Doc.
I should be the one thanking you. I'll never be able to repay what you two have done. Anyway, I'm guessing you didn't come here just to catch up.
Right. We need your advice. We found a girl who's collapsed from exhaustion, and she needs medicine. Do you know anything that could help?
If she's that weak, she may need a nutritional boost. The herbs I have here won't be enough. Oh, have you tried searching Kirt Garrison?
No. We passed it on our way here, but...
With all the Renin soldiers gone, that place should be empty now. If we're lucky, maybe they left something you can use.
Good idea. We'll take a look. Kirt Garrison. If I'm not mistaken, that's located off to the side of the railroad tracks.
Wherever it is, just make it quick. You look happy.
Do I? I guess I am. Getting thanked for everything by someone I actually know? It made it really hit home that we made a difference.
That guy's a strange one, though.
Doc? I don't think he's that odd.
He is, though. He thanked me, a Renin, for helping, despite everything my people have put him through over the years. He's free now. He doesn't have to act nice around my kind.
He's not acting. He means it. And like he said before, he was thanking you as an individual, Shionne, not just some Renin.
That's what makes it so strange.
Would you have preferred he yelled and threw rocks at you?
I'm not saying that, it's just hard for me to understand him.
Okay, off we go.
Okay then, what? Find medicine. Guardhouse. Does it mean there or here? Or up? That they followed me.
Here I come! It's on!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Probably not here. But I have the right idea. It's at guardhouse, but still. Want to be sure.
An opponent like this should be easy. Come and face me.
Excuse me.
Swallow blade. Here I come. You're finished. Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Ooh, there's minerals.
Out of our way!
Severing wind. Here I come.
By the
It's
power
over.
of water!
Mirage. Slash. Eat dirt.
Looks like it could be worth something.
I'll take this. Oh yeah, what about the skills? Boost attacks downs. Okay. This is quite good. But let's put defense first. Then you. Please. Yes. This is what she needs. That's fine.
I won't forgive you!
Take this.
Searing flame! Reload!
You're mine.
Go!
We're in good form.
Collect these. It's basically marked, okay.
An opponent like this should be easy. Slice. Nicely done, Xion.
You're slacking.
It's
Step
over.
it up.
Yeah.
Sight.
You got it.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Xion.
Then, aha.
Think this is it?
How would I know?
It matches the description we were given, at least. No use standing around here hemming and hawing. Let's take it back and see.
I hope you're right. There's no way I'm coming all the way back here.
Just to be safe, I think before we head back to Ulzabek, we should maybe have Doc double-check this is the right stuff.
All right, but let's make it quick.
Suspicious. I'm sorry, but this is a little suspicious wall. No. Map. Can't use. Quick travel. Got it.
An opponent like this should be easy. No escape! Swallow blade!
Reload!
Here I come!
Here I go! I'm only getting
Swallow blade!
Reload! Barely a blip on our radar.
Moskul.
Did you find anything useful?
We think this might work, but we wanted you to take a look at it first.
Let's see. Ah, this stuff. Yes, this'll work. I'd hurry over and give it to the girl right away.
Right, then we'll do that now.
Say, Iron Mask. No, sorry. It's Alphen now, right? Are you and that young woman planning to stick together moving forward?
Yeah, I think so.
I see. You know, I think things just might be starting to change.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure of that myself, but I feel like after being stalled for a long time, the gears of progress are finally starting to turn again. I imagine people are going to have things to say about the two of you, but you simply keep doing what you feel is right. If you ever get tired and need to rest, feel free to come back here. Until then, take care of yourself.
Thanks, Doc. Okay, off we go.
Out of our way!
Take this! Come and
If it's in
face
the
me!
sky, it's mine!
That gun of yours is real handy in a pinch.
It takes a true mark.
Well, can't think of anyone better than you, Shion. Together, that wasn't even a problem. Is this what you asked for?
Perfect. That'll do nicely. I had a feeling you'd come through for us. With this, the little one should be right as rain in no time.
I can't believe it. Not often we get visitors from Cyslodia around here.
Cyslodia?
Calaglia's neighbor. One of the 5 realms. What with that wall in the way, I guess it's not surprising. But I've never actually met someone from the outside world before.
Up till now, the only time the gates ever opened was to let Renan convoy units in and out.
No one ever thought to stow away and hitch a ride out?
This place might be a living hell, but when next door is a living hell too, you start thinking it doesn't matter much one way or the other.
So you're Rinwell, and you're with the Cyslodian resistance known as the Silver Swords. Your organization sent a group of you to establish contact, but you're the only one who made it through. That sound about right?
Lately, our people's oppression has become more and more severe. When we heard rumors that you had staged a successful rebellion in Calaglia, we hoped that maybe you could help us.
News sure gets around quickly, huh?
If you ask me, it's awfully convenient she just happened to show up now. Certainly raises a lot of red flags.
Please, I swear it's true. My people are dying. I risked my life trying to get here so I could find help.
It's okay. You did well. We'll take it from here.
Hold on, Zephyr. You're not really thinking...
We'll join her. Alphen, start getting ready. I let you use the blazing sword, and we worked together to overthrow the Lords. That was the deal, remember?
Wait, is that a Renan? What is this?
Take it easy. It's complicated, but she's on our side. She helped to find some medicine for you.
She did? But no, she's a... I can't believe it.
The Renans from other realms could attack at any time.
That's for you all to worry about. I've got bigger fish to fry.
That sword of Alphen's is our best weapon. We can't just go lending him to other lands.
Even if you keep him here, the blade's as good as useless without me on board.
And what makes you think I can't persuade you, Bright Eyes?
What makes you think you can? Last I checked, you couldn't even touch me.
Enough! Alphen, what do you want to do?
I know all too well the hardships the slaves of this realm had to endure. That's why I took up the sword. To help them. If Dahnans are being oppressed in other realms, then I have to help them too.
Nath has a point. We can't discount the possibility of further attacks, but now our struggle has grown. It's become much larger than just liberating the people of Calaglia.
We can't be in two places at once, Zephyr.
True, which means we're limited in our options. We play this the same way we did with Balseph.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You and me both, but it's too late for regrets.
Jeez, really? You don't say.
So, you're really going, huh? Just the four of you?
Afraid so. Look after the place while we're away.
Always the smooth talker. We'll do what we can to hold down the fort.
We've got the Renans to keep us busy.
Good luck. Just remember...
Yeah, don't go killing anyone without good reason, I get it. I'm not about to repeat what they did.
Let's move, people.
Do you think we'll really be able to wipe the Renans off the face of Dahna?
Who said anything about doing that?
But we have to in order to survive. Don't we?
Now that you have the blazing sword, and have shown that we really can win this fight, do you really think we should go around killing every last Renan?
But what else are we supposed to do?
Say we go around killing Renans, so they don't kill us first. In turn, that'll just make more and more of them want to kill us. Where does it end, once you enter such a vicious cycle?
Is that why you told Grenar not to kill any Renans without a good reason?
I'm not saying we should forgive and forget what they've done to us. But we can't let ourselves be dragged down by our own hatred either. Hatred comes in many forms. There's no one solution that will work in every situation. We have to keep searching for new ones if we're going to survive. It's a lifelong journey, finding the answers. That goes for you too. You have to come up with your own answers.
Hey, Zephyr. Why do you keep fighting?
What do you mean?
Until I met you and the Crimson Crows, all the Danans I ever knew just accepted their lot in life as slaves. Hell, even I was like that. But all of you in the Resistance are different. Even when you have no hope of winning, you keep on fighting. Why is that?
Come on, that's an easy one. I just refuse to live life as a slave. That's all.
Better to die fighting for freedom than to live as a slave, huh?
Let me ask you a question, Alphen. What does it mean to you to not be a slave any longer?
I guess it means living a life not being ruled by the Renans, right?
But what about the Danans who died standing up to the Renans? Are they still slaves? Would they be truly free if all they did was follow my orders and die without knowing what it was they were doing?
But that's...
Being a slave isn't just a position. It's also a state of mind. Don't become my slave, Alphen.
Let's go.
I'll take you all on! Take this! You're surrounded! Stay calm!
Well,
Guess we gotta
we're on the
roll
home
with it.
stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
There you go. I have to check one thing.
I'm sure I can put this to use.
Yeah, Zephyr is part of the party, but he's not a party
What's that
member.
over there? Some kind of castle?
Yeah, one that belongs to a different lord than Balsef.
Right, that makes sense. You said there were 5 of them in all, right?
Right. We've still got a lot of work ahead of us.
Oh,
Guess I misread the landing.
I know there is no falling, but still, that scared me. Was there anything? Aha!
Rinwell. All right. It's nice to meet you. Does that little white animal follow you everywhere?
He's not a little white animal. His name's Hoodle, and he's a baby owl.
Hoodle! I want the hoodle!
Pick on the weak. It's over! Don't go great! On to the next table.
Roger that.
Show me what you can do, kiddo!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more...
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
I want the hoodle!
Out of our way!
I'll take you all on! You're mine! You're finished!
One final push!
Right.
Give them all we got!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
We're in good form.
Aha! I will take that chunk. Thank you. I want
What's got you so worked up, Hoodle?
I want the Hoodle.
Is that?
Watch out! They know we're here.
Flying Zoogles, huh? This is going to get interesting.
They're nothing I haven't seen before.
Shion!
I'll shoot them down, you finish them off. Got it? Knock a flying
Got
enemy
it.
out of the sky, and it's as good as done.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
By the power of water!
Swallow Blade! Flyer! These are all you, Shion!
That was easy.
What was it those Zoogles were attacking just now? Is that?
What?
It's nothing.
I only helped because it was convenient. We couldn't have moved forward without clearing out those Zoogles. I don't know what's got you ticked off at me this time, but I suggest you keep your hands away from me.
No one asked you to help.
Rinwell, she healed its wounds. She's not trying to hurt it.
How can you be so...
Oh. My heart.
They look like they're talking to each other.
He's probably happy to see another owl. I don't think Hoodle's ever met one before. He might have been wondering if he was the only one. Oh. You just barely got to say hi.
At least we know it's out there. I'm sure we'll run into it again somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Right, Hoodle?
Oh. I want the
I can
Hoodle.
feel my power growing.
Was there anything here? No. I want the Hoodle.
I'm always impressed how good of a shot you are, Shion.
What do you mean?
Just that all I'm good for is throwing myself at things with all my might. By comparison, your way is more... how do I put it? Precise.
It's not like I'm that good of a... Look, that's just how it is with guns. If you miss, it's a wasted bullet you can't get back.
Is that why you're always aiming to exploit enemies' weak spots?
I wouldn't say every shot is that deliberate, but that is part of it. For example, if I see a flying enemy, I'll often go for their wings. Also, if I see a jumping enemy without wings, I know they're an easy target because they can't get out of the way while in the air. In your case, I bet it's easier for you to deal with enemies that stay on the ground, right?
Definitely. Things that can fly circles around me are a real pain to deal with.
Exactly. It's important to keep your enemy's movements in check.
True. Although your shots have the added benefit of stunning enemies, so it's easier to swipe materials from them. It's really helped out.
It's nothing, really. As long as you keep doing your part when we fight, I'd say we're even.
Want to take a break?
Maybe. Do you have anything to buy or sell? Or can I forge anything? That's... yeah. Buy, sell items, thank you. I will buy 2 life bottles. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
What are you staring for?
Do all Danon fighters look like you?
What, this getup? I pulled this number together from scrap and parts I salvaged throughout the years. Though now I'm feeling self-conscious, seeing how put together you seem to be.
Oh no, I was just curious. Did you fortify your right side more because that's your dominant side?
Partly, but mostly because my body's a little worse for wear after all these years fighting.
That makes sense.
So you take extra care to protect your dominant side with more armor. Smart.
Is fighting all you think about?
Cook before stopping. This gives me XP boost.
This should definitely keep you guys full.
Pull up. Now we have defense boost.
All right, guys. Ready to go?
Oh. Oh. Finding an owls. If you hear hooting, you can be sure an owl is near. Try looking for them in suspicious areas like treetops or even inside boxes. Then once you discover one, inspect it with it centered in the screen. So that's the reason I didn't. Ah. Ah. Oh. And glasses.
I'm surprised there are owls here, too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
I take it we're heading through here then?
Everything all right, Zephyr?
Yeah, it's nothing.
What is that? A ring?
It was my wife's.
Your wife? You never mentioned anything about being married.
That's surprising?
You said was. So then, is she gone? Was it the Renans?
No, she was sick. I couldn't get her the medicine she needed, and then she was gone. I'd always wanted to show her the world as it could be.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. There are plenty of people out there more deserving of your sympathy than me.
But...
Let's go.
What is this place anyway? What's with these columns and steps?
No idea. I've never been here before either. Rena's convoy squads probably used it in the past.
I guess. It's definitely seen better days. You wouldn't know anything, would you, Xion?
Nope. And I'm not interested in learning either.
Actually, these are Danon ruins. See? You can tell by the way the columns are decorated and stuff. They're all old Danon designs.
Are you saying these things were built more than 300 years ago, then?
Yeah. I have no idea what they were used for, though.
It's amazing to think our ancestors were capable of making such structures. Hopefully there'll come a time when us Danons will be able to walk through here freely again.
That's exactly what you're fighting for, isn't it? Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, new enemy type. Hello.
Normally, I don't pick on the weak. Come on, here I come! Swallow Blade! Talent Storm! Touch Cannon!
I'm out of ammo! Back into the
Stay away from its toxins! Mirage! How's this? Coming! Talent Storm! Touch Cannon! You're finished!
By the power of war, primed and ready! I never miss!
Don't go charging off like that! You're mine!
There you go.
Everything's coming up, Zephyr!
That was just a reflection. I knew it!
I'll take you all on!
Take
Now!
I'm only getting
I'll run you through! See ya! Talent Storm! Here I come! Cannon! You're finished! Take aim and blast it out of the sky! You're mine! Slut! Win! I'll run you through! Fire!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Here I come! All yours!
By the power of war!
Win! This one's all mine! Burn!
Damning flame of
Take
fury!
them on it! Severing wing! You're mine! Mirage!
Do it!
Cannon!
Chill! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady.
Something you wanted to say? I'm only getting...
I have to check the arts.
Never imagined there were Zeugles out there that could pretend to be statues.
That's because Zeugles don't come from nature. Who knows what else is lurking out there?
Guess we have to be prepared for anything.
I knew. I recognized. Wait, that's different color. Aha, that's how I got the. New art. I think.
It's freezing in here. And after how hot it was outside, too.
It must be the cold air sweeping in from Cyslodia. It's the polar opposite of Calaglia, so I'd get used to it if I were you.
Is the little guy okay?
Oh, don't worry about Hootle. He's from Cyslodia. Probably just nerves is all. He's not really used to being around other people this much.
Rinwell, how about filling them in on what to expect from Cyslodia?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Well, for starters, nobody trusts nobody.
Come again?
Just like I said. You never know when Snake Eyes are watching you.
That's what they call their lord's henchmen, apparently.
Their official title is the Bureau of Civil Observation. They've got cronies undercover everywhere, observing us at all times.
So? Renan surveillance was an everyday part of life in Calaglia.
Difference is, in Cyslodia, it's not just Renans. They've got Danans spying on each other, too. Or in other words, there's the Snake Eyes themselves, plus all their small-time informants. All it takes is someone squealing on you, and it's straight to labor camp. No questions asked, no goodbyes. Course, informers are rewarded handsomely for their deceit. Everyone's always got one eye open, waiting for the moment to inform on someone before being tattled on first.
Hence the not trusting one another, huh? In that case, what do you think they'll make of us?
Hard to say. Although, not being from Cyslodia will probably help, honestly.
More trustful of outsiders than even your own people. Why go along with it, though? Why doesn't anyone take a stand?
Not everyone is strong enough to stand, Alphen. That's why the world needs people like us.
Climb. Keep it. Hello.
Normally I don't pick on the weak.
This one's gonna be tough.
I never miss!
You're mine! How's this? You're finished! Don't go charging off like that!
Do it!
You're on! Touch the cannon!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Ooh. Xion. Bombshell. Alien enemies, meals cooked. Tawny woman. Pustakat downs, weapon type forged. Oh, I didn't see that. Completion bonus, attack 10. Defense 10. Defense 10. Elemental defense. So what I really need, do I want attack or defense? And same thing goes to her.
I'm sure I can put this to use.
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me.
I'll run you through! See ya! Talon, you're on! Tusk cannon!
Searing
Here I come!
Reload!
You're finished. Demon Fang.
Searing
I'm on
Flame!
it.
Reload! I'm out of ammo! Back into the fray!
Tusk cannon!
Gemini Aqua!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Pathetic!
Oho. Item. Apple shell. Nice.
I'll take you all on!
This one's all mine. Ignite.
I'll run you through!
Swallow Blade. Here I come. It's over.
Cannon!
You're mine. You're finished.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein. Something you wanted to say?
There you go.
Another notch in the old belt.
Keep 'em coming.
You like that taste of freedom, kid?
I think I could get used to it.
Let's see if there's anything here. There's Endula ore. Let's me hard that takes a long time to refine. Mastersmiths like to hoist it, and apprentices to ostensibly build character. Colossal barrel mass. Clump of stones that shines with their cannons at day and night, and it is remarkable, possibly due to it contain conflicting powers. that way, but I want to check what's in here.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're finished! You're mine! Tell it!
Your wings won't save you from me!
I'm ready!
I'll run you through!
You got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
You're mine!
All yours!
I'm on it! Slice!
Swallow blade!
Cannon!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
See ya! Mine! Talent storm! You're on! Touch cannon!
Demon Fang!
A hard
It was
won
so
victory.
bright she died. Ooh, a chest.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're mine! Swallow blade!
You're surrounded! Take off!
You're on! Ignite! You're mine! Win!
See ya!
You're on!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Whoa! Take a look at that!
Panacea bottle. Excuse me. It's in here. Plant cell.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
I'll run you through!
Severing wind! You're on!
I'll run you through!
Severing wind! Here I come! Talent! You're on! Slash! Demon Fang!
Slice!
Do it! Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right
Let's
behind
move.
you, Shion. Guess I misread the landing. That is one enormous stray.
I don't think we can take it right now.
Aha! Don't worry, I will be back. I hope I can get back.
I have a bad feeling about this. Where are you going? Do it! I was overconfident. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
And what have we got here?
Oh, I saw that in a book once. Those things are worth a lot.
You're a little bookworm, aren't you?
Yes, she is. No. A bolt shell.
hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Let's keep moving. Moving. Okay. Is there anything? I think not. I hope not. Did I miss anything? No, that is just a lock.
Not much further now. The exit will take us straight into Cyslodia.
You're brooding again. What's eating at you?
We defeated Balsif and liberated Calaglia from the Renans. Now, we're on our way to rescue our fellow Danans in Cyslodia. I'm committed to helping our people. You know that. But then, what happens after that? What's our endgame here?
Good question. The Danans vastly outnumber the Renans, yet we rarely take up arms, because we know that when it comes to firepower, we don't stand a chance. Even if you succeeded in overthrowing the Lords and freeing Dana, then what? Lenegis would still hover over us, the Renan motherland behind it. If they so desired, the Renans could potentially use their might to wipe us off the planet in a second, no matter how powerful that blazing sword of yours is.
So what you're saying is we don't stand a chance. So what the heck are we even doing?
There's no sense in discarding today's victory for tomorrow's loss. If fighting yields even a single day of freedom, it will all have been worth it in the end. Who knows? Maybe that's the day we make preparations for the battle that will free us for good. Speaking pragmatically, the fact the Renans don't exterminate us all in spite of their technical advantage has to mean one thing. They need us. It's up to us to put a dent in their armor before they cotton on to our plan. That way, we force them to the negotiating table.
You want to negotiate with the Renans?
It's galling, I know, but it's the only way to survive while securing our freedom at the same time.
That's... But even so, we can't just...
If you lot are done talking, there's a lord we came to overthrow.
What about you, Shionne? What do you plan on doing after we've given the Lords the boot?
All I know is, my reasons for fighting aren't the same as yours. I'm through answering these pointless questions.
Ice. Ice is nice.
So this is Cyslodia.
How far is it to the capital?
We've still got a ways to go. Also, the Zeugles here are different than those in Calaglia, so be careful.
Got it. Sounds like we should make sure we stick close together as we keep moving.
Agreed. Hey, Shionne!
It'll be hard for me to use my rifle in a pinch if we're all bunched together. I'll follow behind the rest of you.
Right. Makes sense.
What's up with her? She seems even more upfront than back in Calaglia.
In case you forgot, we're in enemy territory now. If you don't get serious and focus on the task at hand, you'll be inviting trouble.
Don't take it personally. I think that's just the way she is. Plus, you have to remember, with those thorns of hers, she's probably not used to anybody being all that friendly to her. The fact that you can't feel pain means you probably end up getting closer to her than she's used to.
You really think so?
We're talking about someone who came down to Dana all by herself. But you don't see her homesick for Lenegis at all, do you?
No.
That alone speaks volumes about how difficult her whole situation must be.
Yeah.
It's your job as her partner to understand that, and give her the support she needs. You two are going to be stuck together for a while, so the sooner you make nice, the better.
Make nice?
Yep, Now come on.
I get that they're not exactly on the best of terms, but... Is everything going to be okay with these people?
Rinwell, don't go too far ahead. You never know where Zeugles might be lurking.
Oh, we'll be fine. We've been able to handle them up until now.
Still, better that you hang back a bit.
No way! I'm the one who asked you to come here in the first place, remember?
Yeah, but if we lose you, we won't know where to go. Besides, it's old guys like me who should be sticking their necks out first.
But...
We need you in order to get in contact with the Resistance in Cyslodia. So stick close until we find them, okay?
Okay. Thanks.
Now you've got me wondering. How'd you make it to Calaglia in the first place? I find it hard to imagine you didn't run into Zeugles along the way.
Are you good at hiding or something?
Yeah, that's it. I'm just really good at staying out of sight.
Wow. Still, you had to have been pretty lucky to have made it the whole way unscathed.
Lucky indeed. It's crazy to feel just how much the temperature has changed from crossing over a single peak.
Is it really that big of a difference?
Definitely. Calaglia was hot.
I can only tell from appearance, so... Achoo!
You might not be able to feel it, but it sure looks like your body responds to it just the same.
Seems like it. So if I sneeze, I guess that it's a sign that it's getting chilly.
They say that sneezing is often the first sign you're coming down with the cold, too. That's all the more reason you need to be careful with...
Ha-choo!
Was that also a sneeze?
I just bit my tongue, that's all.
No, it sounded a lot different from mine. But I could swear it was still...
It wasn't a sneeze, okay? Ha-choo!
Guess we both need to be careful out here in the cold.
Is it hard leaving Calaglia behind?
No. Actually, it's kind of a relief to be away from there.
Really? What makes you say that?
Because it was getting to the point where every man, woman, and child would come up and talk to me like they knew me. I could barely find a moment to breathe, let alone relax.
Well, what you did was kind of a big deal, you know. You overthrew a Renin lord and burst open the gates of fire.
Yeah, but that was only because I had the blazing sword with me. We wouldn't have made it to Balseph without you and the Crimson Crows, Zephyr.
Maybe so. But you're still the one who took him out in the end. It's only natural for people to look up to those who protect them. You're a hero to those people.
I never asked to be one. I never asked to take the place of a lord in people's minds. I don't want it.
You're a strange one, Alphen. That's for sure. If that's how you really feel, then hold on to that. Listen to those thoughts when you feel lost and don't know what to do. If you can do that, you won't lose sight of who you are, or what the right path to take is.
The right path to take, huh?
Okay, that was last of the skits. Past level point added. Nice. Ice wolves.
Normally I don't pick on the weak. Here I come! You're finished! Don't go charging off like that! Don't let them form a pack! You're mine! You're finished!
Mega Ray!
Swallow blade! I'm on it! See ya! This one has you right up! Burn!
There you go.
Everything...
What's in here?
Things coming up, Zephyr. I'll take you all on. You're mine. Swallow blade.
I'm all started up.
I'm not done. Severing wing. You're finished. Severing wing. Here I come. You're on. You're mine.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Pathetic.
I am just checking strategies. Fight aggressively, fight in penetration, don't spend CP.
Brace yourself.
No, that's alone. Ah, here.
This one's tough.
Now I understand.
Here I come. It's over. You're surrounded. Stay calm.
I'm out, lost and weak.
Severing wing.
Where are you going?
You're mine. Mirage.
Burning strike!
You're mine. I'll run you severing wing. One final push. Right. Give them all we got.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
You're mine. I'm on. You're finished. Slice. Severing wing. Talon sword. It's over. Cannon.
Do it!
Here I come. Still.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Let's open this. Gold. There was gold. Who? I'm sorry, but who will leave gold in a chest? In middle of nowhere. I think this is middle of nowhere. I'm not so sure. To my
what's
door.
this thing?
Box.
Let's dispose of the trash.
You're mine. I'm on it. It's time. And it's coming. Burn in hell.
Airborne beast. My
Escape.
specialty.
Severing wing. Slice. Take this. Talon. Got flyers.
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours. Talon sword. You're mine.
Fury!
Swallow blade.
Burning strike!
Not half bad.
Could you try to be less patronizing?
I didn't mean nothing by it. Whoa. Take a look at that.
I noticed the Zeugles here are a lot different from what we're used to back in Calaglia.
It's because this realm is so cold. I imagine they had to be adapted.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're mine! You're finished! Mirage! Try harder! Take this! Swallow blade!
And again!
How's this? You're finished! Talon sword! You're mine! Try harder! Not a
By
chance!
the power of one!
Crush! Slash!
Hear me!
Severing wing!
Fury! Burning
No
strike!
escape! I'm on it! Slice!
Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning
I'll
strike!
run you through! Take this!
Hear the
It's
healing!
on! Eat
Eat dirt! Thanks! I'm not done! Severing wind! You're mine! New attack!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go.
That's some
And
power.
what's in here?
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Oh, there is minerals.
No choice. Take this! Slash! Severing wind!
Back into the fray!
Severing wind! Already through! It's over! Talon Storm! You're mine! It's over! Mirage! I'm on it! Slice! Talon! Severing wind! Tunnel cannon! Mirage!
There you go,
You're
and
quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
en tuolla tuon oo.
Would you like to warm up some?
Aren't there people in there?
You should let yourself unwind when you get the chance.
I guess there's no arguing with that.
Hey.
Hey there, got room for a few more?
Mm-hmm.
This fire here passes no judgment. All are welcome to bask in its warmth.
Hey!
Alphen, wait! Did you forget what I said before? I know. I only want to learn a little more about our new realm. I see you've got a lot of rockets with you. What are you hauling around there? They are full of wares to sell, like medicine, plus my tools that I use to make accessories out of ore from time to time.
Oh?
Did you say accessories? You mean people down here on Dana wear them too? Now I'm intrigued. Just how good of a craftsman are you? I tell you what, I'm going to have to see some of your handiwork for myself. What? Metal engraver. The metal engraver can craft accessories for you using ore that you mine from mining points. Once you strengthen an accessory and activate new skills for it, you can even transfer those skills to a different accessory altogether. Crafting accessories. You can use ore to craft accessories. When you select an accessory to craft, choose the ore you wish to use as its materials. The reality and any bonus skills belong to that ore will then be carried over into the accessory that's created them. Ores can possess up to 4 skills, with rarer ores offering more skills. To activate these bonus skills, the accessories crafted from ores must be enhanced. This is basically Ice Realm, so enhancing accessories. Enhancing an accessory raises its level and activates bonus skills. Doing so requires ore and other accessories. The rarer both of these things are, the greater the target accessory will level up when enhanced. Craft. Is there anything I can craft? What do you think? Did I pass your test?
Right.
It's decent enough, I suppose. Not the prettiest thing I've ever seen, but looks practical at least. If I come across any ore, I might be back. Until then, you better work on up in your game. I appreciate your feedback, lady. I won't let you down. You should be Goliath here yourself, not me, Rinwell. I don't want to talk to her. You do it, Alphen.
What?
Alright. It's cold out there. Let's sit down and eat something so we can warm up. Good idea. But I'm not that hungry. Well, you should never go into battle on an empty stomach, and you never can tell when the enemy is going to attack, so... Shion, you don't have to beat you around the bush. It's okay to admit you're hungry, but at what reason do you need to eat? Fine.
Just great.
On second thought, we need to eat, you guys.
All right.
I'll fix us all something good then. How about a regular repast among us? Crimson Crows.
Nice.
What a meal! You're a way better chef than I figured you'd be, Zephyr.
Right.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you. I'm glad you hear you both like it. I'm glad to hear you both like it.
Right.
Want another plate? Like I said, it's not good to fight an empty stomach. I'm good. Shion, eat the damn stuff or I'll throw it away. Shion, eat the damn stuff or I'll throw it away. Alright, if you insist. After that, it took 3 tries making the same thing before Shion was finally satisfied.
Happy now, Shion?
Yeah, I'd say so.
She better be, after all she ate.
I stopped before I was full, though.
What?
And what's in here? Ooh. Chicken!
What's this thing?
Hoodle. I want the hoodle.
Okay, off we go.
Can I forge weapons? I can. Beast Mane. Not enough money. Enhance arts. So this basically what arts I am using. Okay, I will create this and equip. Thank you. Equipment and Ooh.
I always love the sound of hammers banging away.
Other way.
Normally I don't pick on the weak. Don't go charging off like that.
Burning
I'm on it. Talon,
flame! Reload! Take
Here I come.
You're
It's
mine!
over. Talon, take it.
Power of water!
It's over.
I'm all stocked up!
Severing wing.
There is minerals. I want minerals.
I'll take you
I
on.
never miss!
Here I come. I'll run you through on.
Here!
That is
Flame
coming.
of fury!
Talon,
Burning strike!
Shock cannon. You're on. Burn.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go. Ooh. Sniper. Allows you to trigger counter hits by blessing upon defeating an enemy. Upon defeating an Special ammo.
I need to be stronger.
Let's pick these ones.
I won't forgive you.
You're mine.
You're
It's
mine!
over. I'm on it.
By the power of
Blade.
water!
Take it. I'll run you through. You're mine.
Take You're mine!
Take this.
Searing flame! Reload!
Here I come.
You're mine! Searing flame! Reload!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
More pummeling.
Gotta break through.
Here
I come.
Fury! Locked and ready! This one's mine!
You're surrounded. Just stay calm. Win.
Got
Take this.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
And finished.
Houses in a place like this. People really live all the way out here?
The whole area is just little villages. This one's Messia 224.
Wait, I hear something. Sounds like people arguing.
Bureau agents. The Snake Eyes must be here. We should sneak past them. That was my original plan, since you all stick out so much.
Why? In case one of your people tattles on us?
It's the Renans who are making us do it.
Oh yeah? Like this Renan who you need to save your people's skin?
Oh, that's rich, coming from the Bright Eyes whose people are the reason we're in this mess in the
That's
first
enough.
place. But she started it!
3 centuries of resentment is too much to lay at a single person's feet. Same goes for you, Shion. You can't ignore the past when speaking of the present. Now, what's going on in that village?
If I were to guess, someone tipped off the Snake Eyes and they're here to make an arrest.
You'd better not be about to suggest we get involved. I'm here for the Lord's head, and nothing more.
That go for you too, Alphen? Why did you come?
Why? To liberate this realm's slaves, of course.
Are you still a slave?
Me? No.
Then tell me what it means to live unshackled. I'll tell you what it means. It means living on your own terms, being your own master, thinking and making decisions for yourself, and being prepared to accept the consequences. Understand?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. So prove it to me.
Shionne.
Don't start with me. I'm not going, and that's that.
I understand. Just wait here with Rinwell till we get back, okay?
You're going in without the sword?
Looks to be that way. This is my choice, after all.
Your choice? Listen to yourself. That sword's useless to me without someone to use it. You go dying on me out there and you'll put our whole mission in jeopardy.
But I need us all to make it safely to Sisloden.
Too many sacrifices have already been made. We came here to put a stop to any more.
You've sacrificed something too, huh?
Hide somewhere until it's over. You hear me?
Damn those Renans. I hate seeing Danon suffering under them here, too.
I'm surprised you're so angry about it. You're not even from here.
It doesn't matter where I'm from. Enough is enough with these people.
Let's go be the heroes.
Silence, Embedded. Anyone who fails to cooperate will be arrested and tried as a traitor to the realm.
Damn it. Some rat must have sold us out again.
You there! You want me to haul you up on suspicion of civil disobedience?
But I didn't. Ah!
What? Leave him alone! An Embedded dares defy the orders of his lordship? Know your place, slave!
We can't use the blazing sword this close to the villagers. They could get hurt. But there are too many agents. Zephyr?
Law. Is that you?
What's going on? Aren't we supposed to be fighting them?
You're alive.
What are you doing here? The realm of Cyslodia doesn't tolerate civil dissidents like you.
Law.
I hereby detain you in the name of his lordship!
Zephyr? Hell?
Here they come!
Go away!
Mirage!
Engage!
I'm going in!
Engage!
Fall back! I'll take you all off! It's over! Mirage! Here I come! Fall back! You picked the wrong fight!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Fire support! You're mine!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Engage! You're mine! Here I come! Mirage! Fall back!
If it's in the sky, it's
Engage!
mine! This one's mine!
Take this!
Searing flame!
We've turned the tables on her.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
I'm on it! Come and get it!
Here I come! Take this! It's over!
I'm all stuffed up!
Mirage! Engage! Here I come! It's over! Demon Fang!
Locked and loaded!
By the power of one!
Demon Fang! Demon
going on, Zephyr? Why won't you fight him? Is that soldier someone you know?
Don't hurt him.
Huh? What are you...
Please.
It won't work, you know. You never change, do you? You've always got that damn knowing look on your face!
Zephyr!
I got it handled.
But he just...
He's my son.
Oh, so now you remember me. The nerve of you! I'm gonna wipe that damn look off your face once and for all! Rot in hell!
Rinwell... You...
Law.
Watch yourselves! The insurgents are armed!
Enemy reinforcements. Use the sword.
I can't. The villagers will get caught in the blast. We need to fall back!
Oh, for crying out loud.
Zephyr!
Go. Leave without me.
You can't...
I'm not leaving without him.
Alphen, there's no time.
But what about the resistance? Everyone's counting on you!
Forgive me.
Ugh! We've waited all night, but nobody's shown up.
No sign of Zephyr or an enemy pursuit. So, what's the plan now?
You really need to ask? We go rescue Zephyr.
If he's under arrest, they'll have taken him to Sisloden, the capital city. Assuming he's still alive, that is.
I can't believe Zephyr never told us he had a son. I wonder if the rest of the Crimson Crows knew about it.
And to find him in that village of all places. Some coincidence, huh?
Those fireworks you pulled out of your hat back there. They were astral arts, weren't they?
Shion, what the hell are you doing?
Except I've never heard of a Dahnan who can cast astral arts. Are you a Renan?
Like hell I am!
No, of course not. Renan's eyes light up when they use astral arts. And when you used an art, your eyes definitely didn't. So I guess that means you can't be a so-called Bright Eyes after all.
Sorry.
You're right. Those were astral arts I used. Same as the ones wielded by the Renans. A long time ago, my family, my people, were once known as mages.
A Dahnan mage? Up until now, I'd only ever heard of them in stories and rumors. Though now I've seen one with my own eyes, I suppose I'll have to believe it.
We've been in hiding for a long, long time. Even before the Renans first attacked. That's why no one knew about us.
Even before the Renans?
Yeah. My ancestors were persecuted and targeted for their gifts.
But it was by their fellow Dahnans.
They lived hidden away all these centuries, keeping their existence secret even from the Resistance. My mom and dad drilled it into me that I was never, under any circumstances, supposed to let anyone find out about us.
If that's the case, then why did you use your powers back there?
I don't know. One second I saw Zephyr about to be killed, And the next I was...
Dahnan Astral Arts. If the Renans knew such a threat existed, there'd be hell to pay.
Hey!
What? You think I'm gonna go to the Lords with this information? I'm a traitor and an outcast at this point. Or did you forget? What amazes me is how anyone could have that kind of power and yet keep it hidden all this time. Didn't you ever want to use it to help your people?
Don't talk like you know the first thing about me, Renan!
That's enough. Zephyr wouldn't want this.
Listen, all I care about is taking out the Lords, okay? Which is no doubt what her people want too. Using her powers to help do it only makes sense.
Makes sense for who? Us? Besides, Zephyr comes first. We can't just abandon him.
It's fine.
Huh?
You're going to save Zephyr, right? If so, you're going to need my powers to do it. I don't want anyone else to die.
Are you sure? Then let's get back to the village. We need to find out what happened.
What's wrong?
Nothing, just... I'm surprised how dark out it is.
Why wouldn't it be? It's still night after all.
No, that's what's weird. A lot of time's passed since we arrived in Cyslodia. You'd figure the sun would have come up by now.
Oh, right. It's not like this back in Calaglia, is it? To be honest, I completely forgot. Basically, it's always night in this realm.
Huh?
It's been that way forever. It never gets any brighter outside, even in the morning.
So it's always dark all day long?
But how? How is that even possible? Did the Renans cause this?
Of course they did. It's complicated to explain, though. It'd be easier to just get to Cysloden so you can see what's going on for yourself.
I'll take your word for it. But right now, finding Zephyr comes first.
Rinwell's perk. Magic charging button. While casting an art, press and hold the art button to delay activation until you let go. You can also press in this state to save it for later and charge it. Charge arts activate after your next attack art can be used in combos. If you cast the same art as the one currently charged, they'll combine into a higher tier spell. These can include arts that Rinwell has yet to learn or only trigger with specific combinations. So experiment and see what different pairs yield. Hoodle! It is Hoodle! Hoodle will alert you when there is an owl on your map. One tip for finding owls is that the closer you are to one, the more Hoodle reacts.
I wonder how Zephyr's doing. If that law guy is his son, they shouldn't be rough with him.
I want to believe that. But those two didn't look like they're exactly on good terms. Actually, now I'm curious. Can Dahnans enlist in the Snake Eyes too?
Definitely. They're useful for surveillance here. Doesn't win you many friends on either side, though.
So why is Zephyr's kid working for the Renans then?
All of creation across the heavens stems from the 6 essences. We lack only darkness while they are without light. Thus, to achieve perfection,
What are you muttering over there?
I was practicing a magic incantation.
An incantation? Is it anything like the spells that people use today?
Not quite. It takes time for me to finish my chants, so I'm practicing saying them quickly and accurately. You know, just in case. I've always tried my best never to use magic if I can avoid it up until now.
You said you and your family used to live in hiding, right? Because you were a mage. Where did all the other mages go? Sorry, I didn't realize it was such a sensitive topic.
It's okay. Hey, so, about my magic.
You want to keep it a secret, right?
Yeah, sorry.
A little late for that after what happened in the village, don't you think?
Ugh,
Easy, Shion.
it's just...
Hmm?
I didn't want Zephyr to die. That's why I used it.
I know. And we might have lost him without your help. So thank you, Rinwell.
Sure.
Is that owl okay? It's been stiff as a board for a while now.
You're right. I wonder what's up with it. Come here. It's okay. I won't hurt you. Crap!
Huh? What happened?
I hate to say this, Rinwell, but I lost Hootle. I didn't mean to scare him, but he took off.
Hootle? He's right next to you.
He is. All I see is snow.
Dan and owls conceal themselves when they feel threatened. I guess he's still not quite used to being around other people yet.
That would explain it. I should have been more careful with him. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm the only human he's comfortable with. Come here, Hootle.
Damn, he was that close?
He's just a little wary of you. I think he gets that you're going to be with us for a while, though. Step in the right direction. If you call his name, he might eventually respond at least.
Got it. Thanks.
At least he's not sick or something.
Indeed. It's quite a relief.
Was it this? Yes, Monsieur to Vol.
Hi, Hootle.
You're mine!
Here goes.
You're finished!
Mega Ray! Light acid raging
How about this?
Here
I
These
go.
ones cannot reach
You're
around us.
finished!
You're
Mirage!
mine.
This time! You're finished! Win!
Go.
I won't forgive you. Raging cascade.
Ha! Eat this!
Seal. Mega ray.
Here I come!
By the
It's over!
water. Now I'm not so good with airport. Astral energy.
Say no more.
Here I go. Cloud
You're
power.
mine.
Magic.
It's over!
Wind!
Freeze lancer.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Collect this.
Enemies who can cast astral arts can be pretty difficult. Not only are they powerful, but their range lets them strike us before we even get close.
Actually, I can just disrupt astral arts.
What do you mean?
When someone is casting an art, their focus has to be entirely on the incantation. So right when they're completing the casting, I just kinda steal it from them.
Really? Then what do you do with the energy you've stolen?
I hold on to it and use it whenever I want, like I can with my own magic. The thing is, I can only unleash that art once. After I use it, it's gone. Oh, also, when I steal astral energy, the enemy will lose focus, which means they can't cast anything else for a while.
So not only can you steal their energy, but doing so incapacitates them too? That's amazing, Rinwell. I didn't realize your magic could do so much.
It's actually something of a secret technique within my clan, so I kinda had to learn it.
Well, if we come across any tough enemies that use incantations, I'm sure that power of yours will come in real handy.
Yeah, it's tricky to pull off, but you can count on me.
Hey, Rinwell, do you always have to say an incantation before you cast an art?
Yeah, they don't really add any extra power or anything, but reciting them is what allows the astral energy to come together and flow through me. It takes time to complete, but they're what lets me use such strong magic in the first place.
What happens if someone interrupts you while you're in the middle of chanting?
Then I have to start over from the beginning. As soon as my concentration breaks, any astral energy I've accumulated disperses.
Got it. So once you start reciting, that's our cue to make sure that no enemies can get near enough to disrupt you.
Yeah, that would be appreciated. Although, I do have one fun trick up my sleeve. Once I finish chanting a full incantation, I can hold on to a single astral art without casting it right away.
So once the astral energy's in place, you can choose to set it off whenever you want? That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't fully have the hang of it just yet, but I'm sure it'll come in handy sooner or later.
Right, here goes! Hero escape! Severing wind!
I'll be
It's
saving
over.
power of water!
Mirage!
Hit!
Swallow blade!
Here goes!
You're finished! Swallow blade! Wind!
Here's another!
Flash!
One more!
You're mine!
Mega ray!
Severing
And
wind!
here! If it's in the
You're
sky,
mine!
it's mine!
Flash!
Light astral energy! More with that
Wind!
Here I go!
Mirage!
Spread! Looks like we've spotted one of Hoodle's friends.
It's eerily quiet.
No sign of Zephyr. You think they took him away already?
What say we quit hiding and go ask some villagers? Someone's bound to report us no matter what we do, so we might as well.
Hey, Shion!
What? You heard her. She's got a point. Our cover was blown last night. Where's the sense in sneaking around?
And what if there are soldiers lurking about?
They would have followed us to the cabin already. Relax. The coast is clear. Let's hurry and speak to the villagers.
Is she always like that? I don't know how you managed to put up with her.
What makes you think I'm managing?
Let's try talking to the villagers.
Hey.
You look heel nervous, kid. What's the matter?
Hey.
You're not thinking of turning someone in, are you? Or are you worried you're going to be reported? No, that's not it. Then what's wrong? What's wrong? The circles there. They're what? In the way and... Please come quiet again. They're in the way and you're trying to go somewhere outside the village.
Yeah.
But people here aren't free to move around as they please. I'm not sure he's trying to do anything so dangerous. Unless he had a good reason for it, that is. People right doesn't wanna talk to us since we're complete strangers. I don't think he's a bad kid though.
I guess.
In that case.
Great.
Alright, we'll take care of your sugar problem.
Huh?
We are? Sure we are. We're going to clear out the circles around in this village. Whatever he's trying to do, it can't exactly hurt to get rid of them for him, right? I guess. Oh, it's okay. This is something we want to do. You don't have to tell us anything you don't want. Got it. We got XP from this, so why not?
Is that the Zoogle we're looking for?
Go no further!
Here I come!
I never miss! Here goes! Dance
Severing
in the
wind!
wind! Here I go! Confiscated! I'm
It's
only
over.
getting started!
Now!
Gemini Aqua! Astral energy!
Say no more.
By the power of Raging Cascade! Gemini Aqua!
It's on! Here I come!
Get lost!
Eat dirt!
Like astral energy! Dance
I
in
owe
the
you one.
wind!
You're mine!
Hear me!
Wind!
Flame of fury! Burning strike!
You're mine! Swallow blade!
Raging Cascade! Who wants to die next?
Slash!
Sleep now. I'll be saving this one.
That looks like the Zoogle we were told about.
No choice! Here I come! It's over!
Feel! Searing flame! I'll be saving this one.
Wind! Here I come! You're finished!
Magna Ray!
Mirage!
I'm all soaked up!
Take this!
Freed by the power
You're
of
finished!
water!
Wind! Here I come!
That should be enough to make the area more safe to travel in.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Messia 224. Now that's a weird name.
Messia is basically a code. It indicates it's a small village.
So it's not its actual name? Then does that mean that 224 is...
Yeah. It's merely a serial number assigned to it for administrative purposes.
So the Renans even get to decide what places are called out in this realm. Hey.
You're back. We took out as many jugglers nearby as we could find. That sort hopefully make it a little easier, safer to walk around there.
Huh?
Huh?
Till next time.
I know what you're trying to do, kid, but I hope everything works out for you. See you. Oh, wait! I don't get it. Why would you guys do something like that when there's nothing in it for you? Because I would have felt guilty if I did nothing. Only for one of those circles to get you later. That's why. That's the only reason for those circles, even though there are snake eyes all over the place. I think making sure nobody dies is a good enough reason to do just about anything, don't you? On your way here, did you happen to come across a guy who runs a general store inside the cabin?
I guess.
Actually, now that you mention it, yeah. Why? Did you need something from him? There's someone I wanna marry. Huh?
Oh!
I get it. You wanted to visit the shop to have him make one of those things, huh? You know what he's talking about, well? Of course, people Sislania used to give these special old charms to their loved ones as a sign of how they feel. It's a really old tradition. I didn't think anyone else even still knew about it these days. That's right. I know it sounds weird, but with Sislania the way it is, I thought it was really important for me to make the effort. Not weird. I think it's really beautiful. Wait, back up a minute. If you just need to go to a general store, doesn't this village have one too? The guy who runs the one in the cabin is a friend I grew up with. The charm is really important to me, so I want him to be the one who makes it.
Of course.
Now I understand. Just like all the circle hunting we did paid off then. Otherwise I thought we never had this opportunity to learn about such a special tradition here. Thank you guys for anything you've done. I'll never forget it.
I wonder if something happened.
Woohoo! 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 Woohoo!
Looks like we've spotted one of Hoodle's friends.
Yeah.
Hey buddy, or if it's not too much to ask, you think you can spare some Gilligan? Gilligan? Edmund, do you know what this guy's talking about?
Yeah.
I think he's talking about alcohol. Of course alcohol. What else did you think I meant? Well done. You folks aren't from around here, are you? Hey, fair. If I were you, I'd get the hell out of here before someone reports you. This guy's search engine is too fast. I can't really blame him. People like here grow up doubting even their own neighbors, much less strangers like us.
Hey.
Let me ask you something. Why do you need this Gilligan stuff so much anyway? Whether the bright eyes running the show or not, I've still gotta put the food on the table somehow. And without some Gilligan, I'll freeze to death working out here in this cold.
I guess.
So it's not just the boss you're after. You wanted to stave off the cold. Unfortunately, we don't have any Gilligan on us. Is there anything else we could maybe do to help?
Yeah,
Yeah, we won't ask for anything in return. We just want help.
Yeah.
Do you mean that? In that case, could you clap me the Ingleades to blow it? You can find what I need from Zugos.
Interesting.
I really didn't realize you could use Zugo bars to make booze. People so are creative.
All right.
We don't have what you need, but you think you can hang in there until we find it.
What?
Not like I've got much of a choice, but yes, so you wanna help? You'll be crossing paths with Zugos, you know.
Good.
We can't not do anything when we know you're in need. I'd feel guilty just leaving you up a creek. I'll take fighting a couple of Zugos over trying to blow the dirt here in this sort of climate any day of the week.
Using Zugos to make drinks. That takes guts.
no one would have come up with it before the occupation. That's for sure.
You don't think the Snake Eyes will hold it against them, do you?
If anything, the warmth might help loosen them up.
Huh?
Your folks should write me suspect to me. I can tell just by looking at you that you are not from around here. Normally I report you to the pillar and that'll be that. What to do?
Hey.
Look, we don't want to cause any trouble. Is there any way we can convince you to keep quiet about this? Well, the bureau likes to report people who report folks. What are you willing to offer me? Excuse me?
Sure.
We don't have to give you anything, but there are plenty of other ways to keep you quiet. Easy, Sion. Easy. You're the one who's easy.
All right.
Alright, what do you want?
Yeah.
Well now, let me see. I know. I could use some food. How about you bring some fruits and vegetables? Vegetables. And I don't mean the wilted stuff that grows here. I'm talking about the fresh, wild stuff that grows outside.
Got it.
Fine. It's fruits and vegetables you want. Right. Yep. But you better be quick. If anyone comes sniffing around before you get back, I ain't keeping quiet. Yes.
Get lost!
Take this! You're mine!
Here I go!
Mirage! You're mine! Here I come! You got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours! Here I come! Wind! Here I come! Mirage! You're mine!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Hey,
I have a bad feeling about this.
Burn in hell!
here goes burning. Raging
I'm not
cascade.
done! Fly!
Here I go. It's like trying to keep up with a wolf. Raging cascade.
It's over! Mirage!
Feel.
Take this! You're finished! Try harder! Not a chance!
Searing flame. Reload. Here,
Try harder!
More
Not a
missile
chance!
pile. First aid.
Thanks! No escape!
I'm ready. Feel. I'll be saving.
You're my...
Here's Mega Ray. More with that spectrum. Here's a healing art. Raging cascade.
Try harder! Not a chance!
Sleep now.
Win!
Searing flame.
You're mine!
Do
It's
it.
over!
More with that astral energy.
Say no more!
Watch and dance in the wind. In here. Flame. Reload.
Here I come.
More for the stockpile.
Win.
Hear me.
Take this.
Fury.
Huh?
More that came from.
It's on!
In here.
Here I come!
Come fury.
It's over!
Burning strike.
Huh?
Raging cascade.
Not today!
Hear me. Flame of fury.
Win!
More where that came from.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
You're the friends of that man the Bureau agents took away. Please, leave us alone. We don't want any trouble.
Answer our questions and we'll leave you in peace. Where did the agents take our friend?
Sisluden, the capital. That's what they said.
I knew it.
What did we ever do to deserve this? We haven't even crossed the street without looking first. Why are they after us?
Come on, we're wasting time.
You'll need to hurry if you want to get your friend back. Not a single person who's been taken to Sisleden has ever returned.
Hey, keep quiet. You're trying to get us all killed.
Ah, to hell with that. Go on, report me. See if I care.
I thought this Sisleden was a city. Is it a prison camp?
It's the realm's capital. Though when you're forbidden to move freely like we are, there isn't much difference. My parents and siblings were taken by the Snake Eyes. I haven't heard from any of them since. For all I know, they're long dead by now. Anyway, go! And kill as many Snake Eyes as you can for me while you're there!
All right. To Sisleden it is. people are really terrified of the Snake Eyes. They've got them jumping at their own shadows.
They may be Lord Ganabelt's lackeys, but for all intents and purposes, it's the Snake Eyes who control the realm. One wrong look, and your history.
So Zephyr's being moved to Cisloden. Let's cross our fingers we catch up with him on the way.
I mean, the plan was always for me to take you guys to Cisloden anyway. But a word of advice.
Oh?
There's a forest we have to pass through on our way there. I won't lie to you. It'll be dangerous.
More Zeugles?
Wild ones at that. They hunt in packs, led by the biggest, meanest one. My friends and I got cornered by one on our way to Calaglia. That's how we got split up.
We'll just have to keep our wits about us then. The forest we're about to walk through is pretty dangerous. Let's make sure we're prepared before we go further. Rinwell, if you get injured, just let Shion know, okay?
I only have one pair of hands, you know.
This is great. The taste and aroma will blow everyone away.
Spend time with pod members to deepen your bonds while resting at camp. You never know, something nice might happen if you do.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
And here I was thinking I could get some rest. Is something the matter?
The matter? No, nothing like that.
Then if it's all the same to you, I'll be going to sleep, thanks.
Is chatting with me really that much of a drag?
I just don't get the point, that's all. Is there some pressing reason why we have to talk right now?
I don't know, I think we should all make an effort to get to know one another. What if there's an emergency?
An emergency?
What if one of us suddenly got sick?
Then I'd cure them with my healing arts and we'd move on.
That's easy for you to say. But for the person doing the asking, it may not be so easy to approach you.
If they can't work up the courage to approach me, that's their problem. Unless you're suggesting I'd refuse to heal someone for the fun of it.
I didn't say that.
So what then? Quit beating around the bush and just tell me.
Look, what I'm trying to say is... if we're going to be traveling together, it makes more sense to do it as companions, rather than being at each other's throats the whole time.
I still don't get it. But I do understand that whatever it is, it obviously must mean a lot to you. I'm not trying to make things more difficult for you just for the sake of it. So, I'll make more of an effort to talk every now and then, even when we don't have to. Happy?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Then if you don't mind, I'm going to get some sleep. Have a good night.
Didn't get it, huh?
I think it's time we go to sleep. How long do you plan on just sitting around doing nothing, Alphen? Because it looks to me like you're taking your sweet time getting ready.
I'm not procrastinating, if that's what you're implying.
Oh? Sure looks like it to me. You had me worried you'd forgotten our mission. Again.
I know. You don't need to keep reminding me.
Hey, Alphen. I'm already over here.
Right. Thanks for letting me know.
I saw you talking with that Bright Eyes before lights out last night. Mind telling me what you two discussed?
Nothing in particular. I just figured that maybe she would open up a little if I tried talking to her.
What? Her? She's a Renin. I know we're working with her, but that doesn't mean we have to play nice with her.
Look, we're all going to be traveling together for a while. It's only going to make things harder if we're at each other's throats. If all we do is bark orders at each other instead of working together, that's not much different than how it is for the rest of us. I think it's important that we all understand each other and work together as equals, if it's at all possible.
Do we, though? Because I sure don't get the feeling she means to do the same.
As soon as Zephyr disappears, all hell breaks loose. We can't get anything done if things stay tense like this. But what the hell am I supposed to do? Well, I guess I'll just have to keep hammering away at them and see how it goes.
Come on, guys. We've got lots to do.
So this is the forest teeming with Zeugles you warned us about. No sign of Zephyr, though.
Which means either they had the skills to make it through safely, or we're too late, and the strays got to them first.
Do you say every thought out loud?
Just the true ones. Are we moving or what?
Don't worry, Hootle. It's okay.
I can barely see enough to take 2 steps forward without bumping into something.
Yeah. I'll have to be careful not to miss anything coming from off the path.
This is nothing. When things get real bad around here, You can get lost without even realizing it. Go no further!
Here I come! You're finished!
In here!
You're
More
mine!
than the stop time!
It's over!
By the power of war
You're mine!
Here's
You're
another
finished!
raging cascade!
Mirage!
Burning strike! This is
Take
it!
this!
Hit!
Demon
Here's
Fang!
another! Let the marksman
Raging
handle this!
cascade!
Slack!
Spread! Easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
It's freezing. I can barely feel my toes.
Let's find a way back up quickly then.
No choice! Here I come! Severing Wind! Take this! It's over!
This'll come in handy.
Mirage!
Photon flash!
Take this!
Whatever you do, just stay away from the force!
You're finished! Severing Wind!
Here's the wind! In here!
Mirage! Take this!
Flame of fury!
Huh?
Photon flash!
We did it! Not a chance!
Banana,
No
let's go!
escape!
Huh.
Mirage!
Air thrust! With this, I can become even stronger. This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Here I this one's all
Spirit
mine!
flame! Raging cascade!
Huh? You picked the wrong fight!
Flame of fury! Burning
Here I come!
strike!
Severing Wind!
Here goes!
Take this!
Huh. Mega
Mirage!
ray! All right, it's showtime! Water!
Take this! Mirage! Swallow
Raging
Blade!
cascade! Spirit flame! Spread!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
I could easily see us getting lost here while we're trying to find Zephyr. I get this is supposed to connect the capital to the villages. Why's it got to be so winding? And not only that, why are there so many Zoogles walking around?
I think they're used as lookouts. The Renans know how to control them.
Complaining's not going to get us anywhere. Let's just get through this and be on our way.
Right, here goes! No escape!
Raging cascade!
Take this! It's over!
There!
You're
You're
out!
us! I'll be
You're
saving
finished!
this one!
Strike! It's over! Swallow Blade! You're mine!
I'm here to Mega ray!
Swallow Blade!
Looks like it could be worth something.
We're so high up.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Hang on!
Escape! Demon Fang!
This one's mine! In here!
Burn!
Get on in there with the others! Mega
Take
ray!
this!
Here comes the power of water! Now!
Swamp!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
This'll come in handy!
You're
Here
finished!
goes!
Mirage!
Banana, you reply me! Air thrust! Ow! Steering wheel! Reload!
Take
I'm
this!
out! Spread! There's more where that came from.
over!
Not on my watch!
Take this!
Hit! Hear me! Scream of fury!
It's
Raging
over!
Burning Strike!
Mirage!
Here!
This one's all
Burn the
mine!
red pile!
Take this!
By the power of
Burn
water!
in hell!
Where are you going? Now!
Any injuries?
Gotta break
Here,
through!
let me help!
No escape! Come and face me! Take this!
Photon Searing Flame! Reload!
Here I come! It's over! You're mine! It's
I'm
over!
out. Here's a healing dart! Dance in the wind!
Thanks.
Air thrust!
Win!
Photon Flame!
You're mine!
Mega Ray!
You're mine!
Gemini Aqua!
No
Like
escape!
Astral Dance in the wind! Searing Flame! Reload! Here's a healing arm!
You're mine! Take this! It's over! Mirage!
Here's a Mega Ray! Dance in the wind!
Here I come!
Air thrust!
It's over!
Photon Flame! Art Expert! Mega Ray!
Here I
I'm
come!
all stuffed up! Air thrust!
Mirage! You're mine!
Let the
It's
marksman handle this!
Your power is a
Don't mind if I
spectacle to
do.
behold.
I'm not trying to...
Still, it's a part of you. Embrace it.
Looks like we won. Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
Hey, I think that might be what we're looking for.
Why did it have to be a secret like that? I can't go anywhere with that here.
What's wrong?
What are you doing in such a dangerous place? Me? What are you all doing here? You didn't follow me all the way here, did you? If you're planning to help me, then think again. You're not going to tell you, are you? You're simply trying to get to the Sysloden to rescue a friend of ours that got arrested.
Huh?
Hey, so you're a bunch of crazies. Great. Get out of here before you get me arrested.
Yes.
You mentioned something about Sugol. Is there still one up ahead? Yeah, a wolf Sugol. It's huge and tough as nails. What's worse, it's light on its feet too. You might be able to beat it if you can hit its weak spot, but I don't have what it takes to even scratch it. Damn it, I thought if I followed those polar agents I'd make it through the forest, but I guess the whole plan's a wash now.
Got it.
Not necessarily. We look into that Sugol and see what we can do about
For
it.
real?
Huh. You people are even crazier than I thought. If you really think you have what it takes, then go ahead, be my guest. Don't mind if we do. Let's see.
Maybe it's time I try on something new. We've got company, and not the nice kind either.
Rinwell, get back!
And miss all the action? Who do you take me for?
Out of our way!
It's a big target, at least.
Don't underestimate its speed.
Where are you going?
Now! The flashing parts are weak point.
Do it! Here, let me help.
In here! First aid! Let's get you all tucked away.
There! Magic
Magic right here! Let's get you all tucked away.
Take this!
Here, let me help.
All right.
Weak point. Some lots enemies have range glowing split cores that can be destroyed after taking a set amount of damage. Doing so will break the core and down them. Depending on the enemy, these weak points can also be directly targeted.
I owe you one.
Seal. Glorious flame. Reload.
Win!
More with that hit. Just what the doctor ordered. Sleep now. Let's go. I'll be saving this one. Hit. All right. It's showtime.
Win!
Here goes.
Here I come!
Flame. Primed and ready. And I never miss.
You're mine!
Back into the flame. Extra letters. Raging cascade.
This time! Burn! Take this! Win!
It's over. Seal. It looks like you got this one covered.
Take this!
Raging cascade. Gemini Aqua. Seal. Get on in there with
You're
this.
mine!
Don't touch
finished.
mine. All right. It's showtime. By the power
Here I
of
come!
It's weakened.
Blade! This ends now! No escape! Swallow Blade!
in here. I'll be
Here I
saving
come!
the power of water. Whoa, hey, what's
Here I
Gemini
come.
Aqua? Dance in the
Take
wind by
this!
the power of
It's
water.
over! Mirage!
Primed and ready. This one.
Here I come!
Take it.
You're finished!
Go. I'm over.
Try harder! Not again! No escape!
Where are you going?
In here.
Take this!
Art expert coming through.
Mirage!
Here, healing wind. First aid.
Here I come! Not feeling so great.
No, we're not moving. Searing flame.
Damn it!
Here, let me help. Dance in the wind.
Okay, here I go.
I'll be saving the flame.
This one's all mine.
I'm out of ammo. I'm all stuck. Showtime. By the power of water.
You picked the wrong fight.
Stockpile.
Here I come.
Here goes.
It's over.
Now.
Blade!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Here I go.
Light astral
Take
laser.
it.
Dance in the wind.
You're finished. Swallow Blade! Slash!
Here I go. More for
You're
the
mine.
stockpile.
It's getting
It's over.
stronger.
Switching up its movements. Watch out!
Dance in the wind. Air.
More Sukos?
Keep calm and take them down.
Here I come. Severing wind!
Here. Flame of fury.
Take it. Wind!
Orange field. Not on my watch. This one. The enemy is going all out. Here.
This one's mine.
I'll be saving
Take
this
this!
one.
Severing wind!
Photon
Here I
blast.
come.
It's about to
You're
strike.
finished. Look sharp, everyone!
This
continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
In here! More for the... Raging
Take this!
Here, let me
Swallow
help.
blade!
First aid!
Swallow blade! Try harder! This one's all mine! Ignite!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Swallow blade! Here I come! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Swallow blade!
Dance in the wind!
Slide! Swallow blade!
I'm out of air!
You're finished!
Raging cascade! Searing flame! Reload! More for the stockpile! Flame! Reload! I'm out of air!
Let the marksman handle this.
Try harder! Not a chance!
Here goes!
Where are you going?
No escape!
Feel!
Win!
I feel kind of funny.
Yeah, you're looking funny too.
Right. I should probably do something like that.
I was overconfident.
Ah!
Ione, stay away from my friend!
Alright, it's showtime! Ha! Dance in the wind!
No escape!
Light astral energy!
We got him on the run!
Don't get cocky!
Right.
Feel the medicine
Still
working.
anyone's fight.
Here! This'll come in handy! Dance in the
Here I
wind!
come!
Searing flame!
Wind!
Reload! More for the
Mirage!
flame!
Try harder! Not a chance! Slot!
That move!
Up and down! Let's go!
Here comes a big one! Covering wind! Burn in hell!
That's quite by the power of water!
You're mine! Swallow blade!
Here, let me help.
More for the stockpile!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Here's another healing art! First aid! Light axe raging cascade!
You're mine!
They're not playing around!
Swallow blade!
Raging cascade! Mine!
This one's mine!
Confiscated! Raging cascade! General Aqua! Here's a healing
This
art!
is looking good!
First aid! Go get her! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Light astral energy!
Ione,
Ha! Reload! Go
here I come!
Bullseye!
Swallow blade!
Got it! Now's our chance!
You're
Now!
mine! Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
You okay, Rinwell?
I'm fine.
What do you notice now?
It smells like blood. This is...
All these Sugals. They're dead. What happened here?
They didn't do this to each other. So then how... Who is that guy?
No way. One person did all of this? Who was that guy?
Do you think he could have been the Lord we're looking for? Ganabelt?
I doubt a lord would deign to roam around a place like this alone. Besides, what business would a Renan have with killing Zeugles?
Now that I look at it, it was a good call staying out of his way, I think. Look at this. He took them out with a single slice. This guy's no amateur. You okay?
Yeah.
We should get going. Zephyr needs us. That knight back there sure wasn't messing around. If he's not a lord, what is he?
I have no idea. I've never seen anybody like him.
Well, he definitely doesn't seem to be a friend, that's for sure.
Hopefully we don't run into him again. There it is. Sisloden.
What's with those beams of light? They don't strike me as your everyday streetlights.
They're kind of the key to this whole realm. You'll see what I mean when we get there.
What's on your mind?
First, Rinwell appears out of nowhere, right after we beat Balseph. Then, we bump into Zephyr's son, who's with the enemy. Somehow, we get away scot-free because the Snake Eyes don't even bother chasing after us. Is it really a coincidence?
You think it was a trap?
What? But I would never...
If not for the whole Astral Arts episode, I'd be worried. But no, she's not behind this. Perhaps an unwitting pawn in someone else's plan.
What? All this to capture Zephyr?
Maybe. All I know is it all slots together a little too nicely for my liking. Not that dwelling on it'll get us anywhere. Trap or otherwise, we've got a lord to defeat. So how do we get inside?
What?
Well, we can't just march into the Viper's nest through the front door, surely.
There's a secret passage near a spring on the outskirts of the city. We can get in through there.
I hate camping out.
Huh? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are those mage clothes that you're wearing?
So what if they are?
The large hood is cute, and it's big enough to hold Hootle, too.
Huh?
And the way the fabric is cut into strips is really unique. I had no idea this sort of fashion existed on Dana.
Quit staring!
Did I say something to offend you?
No, I think she's just not used to the attention.
As if this place wasn't cold enough, it's also pitch black. I'm amazed anyone can live in this realm.
Seriously. Having all this snow everywhere makes it harder to walk or get anything done. And not having any light to see by makes the uneven terrain even more difficult.
Calaglia is no walk in the park either. It's dusty and there's rocks everywhere. And it's on fire all over the place.
Yeah, you're right. Now that you mention it, all those fires are a pretty weird phenomenon. They were always so annoying to navigate around.
Out here, fire's as important as water to our survival. So are the trees we use for firewood.
Is it that rare to see the sun here?
Not just rare. Until I went to Calaglia, I'd never seen sunlight before. I'd only heard about it. I couldn't believe just how hot and bright it seemed to be. But I guess in most realms, it's just a fact of life. You're used to it.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it? The way the sorts of things people take for granted change from one place to another. Rinwell, mind if we chat a little?
Hootle, let me know if you sense anything. Another day, another Gald.
I think he's saying something's over there.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
What's going on? Why did the weather change all of a sudden?
The snow's gone, and it doesn't even feel cold anymore. Just what's going on? What is this place?
I see something big farther in. Is that a Zoogle? No, an owl?
Hootle doesn't seem too wary, so it's probably not hostile.
Let's go see what's up then. Stay sharp.
I don't get it. Why has it suddenly started giving us things?
Hey, is that owl beckoning us over?
I think it is. It's the owl we rescued before.
Then maybe that's what the gifts are all about. It's thanking us for saving its friend.
This one isn't just bigger than Hootle, though. Something about it seems almost regal, don't you think?
What if it was the king of the owls?
Would that make the other one the queen?
You think so?
Yes, they're clearly a pair.
Is this some kind of owl sanctuary?
It's such a big place, though. I wonder if those two were living here all alone until we rescued that owl.
I thought no other owls existed, but here they are. And a king and queen by the looks of them. You never know what other ones might be out there until we look for them. It's not like you were searching the whole world over yourself, right, Rinwell?
That's... well, I mean, yeah. I guess you've got a point. Hey, Hootle! How about we find more of your friends and tell them about this place? It can be a little side mission on our trip, if that's okay.
It's fine with me. We'll find as many as we can.
Thank you. Oh,
Rinwell?
it's nothing. Don't mind me. Ready to move on?
Owl Forest. Owls you find will gather in the Owl Forest. There is an Owl King and Owl Queen in this forest, and you can talk to the king to get the rewards based on the number of owls you've located.
I think Hootle senses an owl around here.
I hate camping out.
So the guys we saw back in Messia were Snake Eyes, and your group fighting them is...
The Silver Swords. Heck, we even have members working within the Snake Eyes gathering intel for us.
Sounds like it involves a lot of double-crossing.
It does. But it keeps us alive and one step ahead. Calaglia wouldn't have been liberated without those double agents.
Gotta break through! You're mine!
I'm only getting started now.
Sword Ring Alpha!
Reload! Let's get you all tucked away.
You're mine!
Let's give it a whirl.
Swallow Blade!
Hope this works. Here I go. It's over. I'm all stopped up. Here goes. Dance in the wind.
Severing Wind!
Air.
You're finished! You're on!
I'm on a roll.
Slash! Swallow
Your power
Blade!
is a spectacle to behold.
I'm not trying to be dramatic with it.
Work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
This'll be a delicious piece of cake. Let the marksman handle it. This one's mine. Go get it. Dance in the wind. Art Steel.
I'll take you all
I'm
on!
only getting started.
Burn in hell!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
Do it! I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Slash! I can feel my power growing!
Wait, there are way too many Snake Eyes up ahead.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Not on my watch.
You're finished!
Burning
Slash! Swallow! Here I come!
lightning
Severing
orb
Wind!
of water.
You're
Dance
on!
in the wind. Gemini
Here I come! We got fire!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
Take this! All yours! Severing Wind!
You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
Here, how could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. I need to be stronger.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Here I go.
You're mine!
Dance in the wind.
You're on!
Sleep now.
Here I come!
Let's get you all touched.
Be still! It's on! You're on! You picked the wrong fight! Take this! Get!
Lightning orb.
Severing Wind! You're mine! You're on! Try harder! Not a chance!
I'll be saving
Here,
this
let me
one.
help.
Here I come! It's over!
Let's get you all tucked away.
Front!
Raging Cascade.
It's over!
Here goes.
You're on!
Another level.
Here I come!
Dance in the
You're
wind.
mine!
built for close quarter combat. With this, I can become even stronger!
Rinwell. Hey, Rinwell!
What are you doing here? If the Snake Eyes spot you here, they'll...
So you did make it back alive. Man, am I glad to see you safe.
Barely. When we all got separated, I thought...
They're fine. They all got back in one piece. Well, Azugul took a bite out of 2 of our guys, but what matters is you're safe. So, you gonna introduce me?
Meet Alphen and Shion. I brought them with me from Calaglia.
You mean you made it to Calaglia? Wait, this is it? Just the 2 of them? Where's the rest?
Well, it's kind of a long story. It's best if I fill everyone in at once.
Your call, Rinwell. But everyone will be dying to know. We better get back as soon as we can. Use this passage whenever you need to go in or out of the city. Stay away from the front gate, whatever you do.
How do the Renans not know about this secret route of yours?
Cisloden's an old city. It's littered with pathways that people have long forgotten. But keep your voice down. We don't know how long this route will stay hidden. Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
So this is Cisloden, capital city of Cyslodia.
Be careful. You never know where Snake Eyes or their informants are lurking. We're basically walking into a Zugul's den here. Looks like we've spotted one of Hootle's friends.
Rinwell!
dragon!
Shh. It's good to see you. Who's this?
They're with me.
If you say so. Come on, Menek's waiting. We can talk in there.
The name's Menek, leader of the Silver Swords. And I wish I could extend my warmest welcome to you all, but... if my eyes don't deceive me, you appear to have a Renan in your midst. If she is your prisoner, that's a rather loose leash you have her on.
She's not a prisoner.
So why do I get the feeling there's a rat about the house? No offense intended. See, I've grown comfortable with the likely outcome I'll be stabbed in the back. But stabbed in the front?
We risked our lives just to get here, sir. If you want to send her away, fine. But you'll lose me too.
I see. Trust is in about as short supply as light around these parts, and mine more than anyone's. But I'll choose to believe you. Forgive my manners. You must be tired after such an arduous journey. But to business. We need your strength. The Snake Eyes' grip on the city tightens by the day. Our people are suffocating out there. Hence the scouts I sent to find help. We're at the end of our tether here.
That's why we're here, to help. We've got the firepower to do it, too. But first, we've got some urgent business to take care of.
I see. So your leader is in need of rescuing.
It's none of your concern. We get that. But...
it's coming to our aid that got you into this mess in the first place. You can count on us. Just as long as you help us with our problem afterwards. If he's been arrested by the Snake Eyes, as you say, then there's a good chance he's being interrogated over at their headquarters. Either that, or he's being put to work over at the Floodlights. First priority is finding out where he is. If you're planning on tagging along, Rinwell will show you the way. Just make sure to keep a low profile. Remember, it's not just the Snake Eyes. Hostiles lurk among the villagers, too. This leader of yours, he must be quite the inspiration for you to go to such lengths for him. I look forward to meeting him someday.
all right, let's head into town and see what the fuss is. Have you and Menek known each other for long, Rinwell?
No, not really. I haven't been with the Silver Swords for all that long, truth be told. He's a smart guy, but he's also deeply suspicious of other people. I can understand, since that's how you get to survive around here.
Really? I could tell he was wary of us at first, but he seemed to warm up to us pretty quickly once we talked to him.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual for him. I think that's a sign of how desperate things have become. In my case, it took a long time for him to start trusting me. But then again, I kinda get where he's coming from. You never know who might betray the group, or when the Snake Eyes might be watching.
What made you join up with the Silver Swords in the first place? This wasn't your hometown, so... was it the Snake Eyes who...
No, it wasn't them. Actually, we shouldn't stand around talking. People will start to suspect us. Let's keep moving.
always love the sound of hammers banging away.
Okay, I will stop it here. I am checking if there's anything to who we should raid. There isn't nobody, so I will stop it here. Thank you everybody for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.